Thank you for coming to this press conference on such short notice. I know with the holidays just around the corner, this was a sacrifice for many of you to be here, and I do certainly appreciate your efforts. If you would bear with me, I'd like to read a prepared statement in response to the games from last week, and then after that, I will take any questions that you may have for me. I would ask, though, that you would take your remaining pictures at this time, and then we can move on to further business. Thank you. First, I just want to say, never have I been more proud of a group of guys like I am of this team. I don't know of any team that has sacrificed for each other the way that they have, and they deserve this moment. They really do. They bought into an ideal that in spite of their own individual dreams, that we would rise or fall as one team with one goal. Tonight, after this matchup with Javan, these players reminded me that while the road has been hard and the journey has been long, they picked themselves up when it mattered most and delivered the greatest postseason we have ever witnessed. I want to thank each and every owner who participated in these playoffs, whether it was Tyler with Adrian Peterson chasing Eric Dickerson's rushing record, or Tommy with his epic flameout because of his dependency on Tampa Bay's offense, or Joel, who had Calvin Johnson breaking Jerry Rice's long-standing receiving record, or Vander with his one-man show in Aaron Rodgers week in and week out, or Trevor, who has no one relevant on his roster to even mention, or Brian, who predicted before week 1 that his team would finish with 3 top 15 running backs, and he finished with 3 top 15 running backs, or even Javan, who dreamed to join the ranks of owners with multiple trophies and failed. Whether you lost in the first round or you made it to the championship, you had an impact on how this season will be remembered, and you made a difference in how every team performed. Except for Andrew's team, who was an epic failure this year. I spoke with Javan not too long ago and congratulated him on a hard-fought season. We may have battled fiercely, but it's only because we both love this league so much and care so deeply about winning it. He has proven himself to be a worthy challenger and a worthy champion in the past, and that is a legacy that we honor tonight as well as applaud. I would also like to remind him, though, that in the rematch of the Civil War, it's now Union 2, Confederate States nothing. In the months ahead, I look forward to sitting down with many of you and discussing the future of this league. Like, who's going to be the first pick next year? Or who will be the first QB taken now, and when will he be taken after Derek's failed experiment? Or do you think Ramos will actually show up for the draft this time? These are all questions that I look forward to exploring with you boys as we recap one season and anticipate another to come. I want to take this time to thank members of the King Camp. Is there a voice any more anticipated than Andrew's voice on Tuesdays? Andrew, it's a tradition now that you fully own, and I couldn't be more proud of the job you've done with it. I also want to thank Tommy, who didn't make a single trade with me this year so that we could finally dispel the latest excuse for people as to why I win. I anticipate great things from both of these owners in years to come, and look forward to them achieving them in a meteoric rise to the top. And to Joel, you're a great commissioner and a great friend, and we all appreciate the efforts that you do to hold the details of this league together, as the rest of us are far too lazy. You know, at the beginning of the year, I had a vision of what this team could be. I drafted Ray Rice in the first round and reminded him that he had been on the last 3 championship teams in our league, and I wanted him to cement his legacy by winning his 4th straight under me. But it was going to require some help. I then took a chance on 2 guys who have all the talent in the world in Brandon Marshall and Des Bryant, but coming into this season had struggled to put it all together. I challenged both of them that they had an opportunity to be a part of something great if they were willing to discipline themselves and focus. Alfred Morris came to me after not being highly recruited in the preseason. But from day one, I recognized that he understood the irreplaceable value of hard work. So I made a commitment to him that as long as he continued with his effort, he would always have a place in my lineup. CJ Spiller was frustrated when we first spoke. He felt as if he was good enough to be a first-round draft pick and wanted to be the type of piece that fantasy teams could be built around. He felt he was good enough to be that type of player, as he put it. I told him that if he was willing to sacrifice to be part of a winner, his talent would show through and he would be remembered in next year's draft. Aaron Hernandez came to me several times throughout the year, always asking me the same question: Coach, have you lost faith in me? I told him to focus on getting healthy because his time would come and we would need him to get where we wanted to go. Ask Tyler if Aaron Hernandez made a difference in this postseason. To the Bears defense and special teams, you are the greatest fantasy unit an owner can ask for, and I appreciate the bar that you helped set this year. But in spite of all of this talent, there were still a piece missing. During Week 7, I called Drew Brees, knowing he was frustrated that he spent most of the offseason on Ramos' bench in favor of RG3. I asked Drew one simple question: Drew, do you want to win? He told me, Coach, with all my heart. That's all I needed to hear. I paid a king's ransom and I brought Drew in to be a part of something special. Not every moment was magic, though. It took some time for them to gel and to fully understand what I thought they were capable of achieving. But then it clicked. They were scoring points, but the public still doubted them as being on the same level of some of my juggernauts of past teams. History became their motivation. History became their only opponent. And with that, they destroyed history, ending it by rewriting several major records, including most points in a playoff game, most points in the championship game, biggest margin of victory in a postseason, most total points in a postseason. And now, because of what they accomplished together, they will get to reap the individual rewards promised to them. There could be as many as 4 first-round draft picks on this team next year, and possibly an additional 2 second-round picks. Think about that. 6 guys who could be drafted in the first 2 rounds on one team. Vince Lombardi once said, winning is not a sometime thing. It's an all-the-time thing. You don't win once in a while. You don't do things right once in a while. You do them right all the time. Winning is a habit. Unfortunately, so is losing. I want to thank this team for being a part of my habit of winning and helping me to bring home my 5th championship. I hope in doing so, I have not created a habit of losing for the rest of you, but instead, hopefully you've been challenged to do the things necessary to win all the time. Commit yourselves to building a team by which future teams will be compared. Do these things consistently, and next year could be your time to celebrate a championship. Always remember, losers lose, winners win. They don't have to pretend. And always, always remember, pound for peace. Thank you, and may God bless the Union that defeated those Confederate states over 100 years ago. May God bless this league, the greatest fantasy league in the world, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you. Are there any questions that we will have? No, I've always thought he was a BA. His Week 7 rant didn't bother me much. I knew that Tommy, he hadn't learned how to win well yet. So just with a focus from my team, I knew that he wouldn't be a relevant factor in us in the playoffs. No, it was not difficult to beat Tyler's team the way I did. I had suffered a tie loss the year before, so I know how painful it can be, but someone's got to win, someone's got to lose. So I figured better me to win. Yes, I do think it adds to Jay Van's credibility as a former champion to have played in a second championship. I do still, however, hold that he is the worst champion that we've had in our league history, but that's better than being the best non-championship winner in our league history like the other 7 guys are competing for. So J-Van is a part of elite company, being one of only 3 men who've won the championship. Yes, I do believe I am awesome now that I have 5 championships and the rest of the league has 3. I'm sorry, I'm not going to take any more questions. I appreciate you guys coming out. I do have to get, to the family with the holidays. I want you guys to enjoy your holidays, and I will see you again next year. Thank you.